This video is a follow-up and an improvement on the curtain rods used in the hidden dog crate table video. If you have not caught that video, make sure to check it out. It's on this channel, Whack-A-Mole Industries. So, we're gonna actually need to make two different types of these curtain rod brackets. One is similar, like an improvement I came up with as I was doing the table, and didn't really show you how I made it on that video. But this video will show you all about the nitty-gritties of it. And then we're gonna have to make another one that mounts to the underside of a countertop thing to suspend the curtain rod. So we're gonna be making our own curtain rods for the most part on this video, and they're going to be square, sanded down, and stained. Well, they're gonna be sort of squared because the corners are all rounded down. You get the idea. For the ones that mount on the inside of two surfaces, like if it's a window or windowsill, we will be using 1.5 inch stock. And the dowel rods, in quotes, are around 1/2 inch. So we're gonna be drilling actually the hole at 3/4. I'll be using a spade bit. And that will be the magic sauce for this recipe. No, don't eat this. It doesn't taste good. Look at that beautiful spade bit. The tip's broken off. Extra feature. You pay extra. Let's wait for it to get focused. You pay extra for a spade bit with the tip broken off, and it's dulled. Even better. The tools I will need for the task: goggles, glasses I mean, a drill, which I don't have down here, so we'll be back, and a drill. Now, the more complex version will need a jigsaw, which is this. The other thing that's handy, not necessary, is a power sander, just to kind of round things up and make them look nice and pretty. So you see the spade bit here? I'm only drilling in partially, like only that far. That way the hole that tip or broken tip leaves will work for a screw to hold it in. And that's your anchor point. So I found the approximate center. There's actually a hole in this, which is nice, in my spade bit, so I can just mark it. So now I know that's approximately where I want it. But if I also put this back over the hole, I see this leaves me about that much space, which I can actually move up just a hair. Just like that. So then I'm going to want equal wood approximately on both sides, just to give it a little more strength. So this is the first one, almost ready to cut. Now the nice thing about this is it doesn't have to be precise. I don't have it perfectly square, no, centered, but that will work. So now I'm going to approximate, and I'm not going to use this to get it perfect. I'm just going to get a rough idea. If everything works right, I'm going to get two different brackets, brackets for both sides of this curtain rod. Next secret to this is I'm just going to move the drill bit just up a little bit farther. Don't need to be up that much farther. I don't know if you can see it. But the goal is I want this hole to intersect with that hole. And then I'm going to just take a chisel, which I don't know if I mentioned that in the tool list. And I'm just going to chip out that corner. So what I'm left with is this super pretty hole. Kind of rough, but it'll work. So then I'll cut it actually right there, So this is actually the top, this is the bottom, and that's the other side. You'll see, this will make more sense as we go along. Okay, so these are both ready to go. This is the simple version that just mounts to a wall or a flat surface. Now if you use a pattern, you get things rounder and more perfect, but this doesn't really matter too much, at least for where I'm putting this. So the one end, your rod will slide in. Well, you have to put it first. You see one end in first, sort of like that, and that will hold it in. So this, one of these sides I'm going to notch lower, like right here for example, so that it doesn't need as much clearance to come in, so the curtain's going to be closer to the top of this counter surface. Now as soon as I notch this, this makes a right-handed or a left-handed side, because I only want this, the full oops, man, I'm throwing stuff, the full outside to be facing out towards the front. So if I notch this, this has to be the back, but if I notch this, this is the back and this is the front. I'm going to notch this side because it is thinner, and I'm going to remove that one, that'll be a little easier. A little over half the height left for the rod to sit here, but leaves a little bit of clearance for it to come in on the back so we can have this up higher. So these two are ready. They just need to be stained and then anchored into place. So now we're starting on to type 2 of the brackets, in which this mounts underneath the countertop. So we need a hole here and a hole here. And then the curtain rod mounts in the face of this bracket. And now I'm taking sort of an unnecessary step. I'm using a wood rasp just to make this prettier. There we go, that's reasonable. I can round off these corners. I may do that on a sander, but we'll drill this next. There we go. Now I just need to make a second one, which is going to be cut out more up here. And the tricky part with that is I'm also have to remove some of this side too, so that it can slide on. So this side's going to be, the other side is going to be weaker. So it's time to drill the holes through the bracket so the screws can go through the bracket into the tabletop / countertop. I'm using a small drill bit, and I'm going to switch to a larger drill bit just to kind of countersink it some so the screws look all nice and pretty. There we go, one beautiful bracket ready for sanding and staining. Speaking of sanding, it's time to sand the curtain rod, which is just a square block blank of pine. Man, did I nick my thumbnails a whole lot on this sanding process. So the next step is hand sanding. So much fun. Try not to wrinkle up too much of my paper. Because it fell on my hand, it must be a sign that it's done, right? Nah. It's staining time! a lovely chocolate soup. I would not suggest drinking that. It stinks. Oh, I'm gonna have to reuse my gloves from the dog table build because I haven't run out and gotten any yet. So they've been sitting around for quite a while, but hey, they still work. As long as they haven't sprung a leak, I should be good to go. These fingers look a little bit glued together. Well, let's see how that works. So that is a quick and dirty way, well not so dirty, but a very quick way to make curtain rod and curtain rod brackets for free. And now it's time to let these dry, and then we can install it. So now I'm ready to mount these, and the side the rod so the rod comes in from the back and set into this cutout, notched out one. That one's going to get screwed to the wall right there, and then the non-notched out one is going to get screwed to the cabinet here. That way the curtain rod will fit in. So I'm going to pre-drill this all so I don't get a messy split.
And here is the one side installed. Now the other bracket is installed on the other side that the curtain rod can hook into.
I'm now going to demonstrate the super precise and accurate way that I measure things when I do not want to take the time to pull out a tape measure. I just hold it up, draw it on a marker, and then I just go like this. For all that precision, let's see if it fits. No, I gotta take a tiny bit more off, of course. And there it fits. We'll pretend that fit the first time, okay? It's now ready for my wife's curtains.
Ooh, it's curtain time!
Now here is what it looks like with both brackets installed and after I hooked in the curtain rod. No curtains obviously installed yet.
Okay, so down in this dark corner of the kitchen, we'll be working on installing the second one. But when I'm saying we, it's me that's installing it. I don't know why. Remember I was talking about I needed to make this so I could put a screw in without it poking through the tabletop? Well, you can kind of see, how that looks. So now just basically it's pretty much cut and dry. I'm gonna just follow my holes that I was telling you that you saw me drill earlier. Saw me drill those holes earlier on either side of the bracket. Now I'm just gonna drill a hole that corresponds with them into the tabletop and shoot the screws up. And then it's cut the curtain rod and then, as some people say, Bob's your uncle. But I don't, but I just said it because other people say it. I don't know really why, but I did. Okay. Yeah, Bob's your uncle too. My wife did a great job sewing these curtains. They're all set. And as you can see, the curtain rod's in place as well, which I guess it's sort of a dub because they're hanging. And kind of that's the job of the curtain rod. So you can see the edge of the brackets here and here. I ended up having to cut that a little shorter off camera, and I just moved the screw in closer to the hole where the curtain rod hangs. Another thing is my wife ended up leaving a space underneath the curtains purposely, because actually our heat vent's underneath here, the only heat vent for this room and our bathroom. So kind of important to let heat in because it's already kind of gets cold in here in the winter. So just trying to not stop the hot air flowing into this room. Well, now I have totally custom curtain rods Actually, my wife has totally custom curtain rods because I made this for her, so is it for me or for me? Oh, I mean for her. Well, either way, this is how to make totally custom curtain rods that fit your exact place out of wood, and you can stain them, paint them, or make them any way you possibly could imagine and want, and pretty much for free or for free. But the totally custom part is totally the best part of it. So make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Now it's time to close the curtain on this project.